Not be
Well,
able
we
to
got a
get-
quorum, so there's 4 of us, so
You
we
have a
got a
quorum.
quorum.
That makes a quorum for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep, we have
Yes.
7
I've been-
members.
I've been trying to think how long I've been on the board. I think it's 15 years.
I'm going to throw you an anniversary party.
It's pretty close, 15 years. They could never find my original paperwork, but I came across the letter. So,
You folks ready?
Okay.
Okay. Welcome everybody to our COA meeting for November. Today's November 3rd, 2022. We'll do a brief roll call going around the room this way. Marjorie, like to start? Doesn't?
Marjorie Fraden, that's all I got.
Well, for the benefit of the folks recording.
Hello.
Jean Shearing?
Lynn Cleveland.
Matt Solden.
And Joe Fitty. Awesome. So we do not have Christine, Donna, and Steven. Okay. So for today's agenda, with this being an in-person meeting, I don't have to read the virtual components. So minutes from last time, I don't recall who's keeping minutes, if anybody.
I don't
I
know.
haven't been able to find those records. So I will try to take some loose notes and keep them for my own records. If you'd like a copy afterwards, I'd be happy to share them. Programming update. Some of the more exciting things. A lot of the programs that I shared previously at our last meeting are up and running, including the ballroom dance program, the senior college program, and then the drums live and Pilates classes. Those classes are all full or at about 80% capacity, so relatively popular. And then all recurring program is really running well also. So no complaints. I plan to send out some surveys for folks once those programs wrap up, just to see what their perceptions were, if people were happy, if they wanted them to be a little bit longer, if they wanted a similar program that was similar in nature. Future programs that are on the horizon. So due to the popularity of Drums Live and Pilates, we're going to be opening second sessions of those. Just try to make opportunities for other individuals that might not have been able to make it due to time or participation. Pilates is a 6-week progressive program, so folks were hoping to jump into it. You have to get in at the first week, so we want to make sure we have enough opportunities for folks. And then Drums Live, due to storage constraints at Frothingham, we were only able to purchase and keep 10 sets of the equipment needed to run a functional Drums Live class. So we're already capped at 10 plus the instructor. So we're going to open a second session, and if it keeps growing, we'll see how far the instructor is willing to go with us. But the instructor, Kelly Brophy, seems to be having a terrific time teaching our folks, which, I mean, residents of Easton are hard not to love. So maybe we'll have 3 or 4 sessions as we go on. The senior college as well, I think we had almost 10 participants with a rather quick turnaround for the senior college program through Bridgewater State. Due to what I think is an untapped program area for that, we're going to be actually hosting programs at Frothingham early next year. Start date is to be determined. I think it'll be early spring program through Bridgewater, but it'll be the similar offering, $85 for as many classes as you can feasibly take or desire to take. And then it'll be instructors that may even be local or Easton residents. So that's really exciting. I think those programs are going really well. Meditation will start up in 2 weeks. That class has been made free. And we will have a chair massage clinic coming in with a local masseuse who's licensed. They'll be doing 8 sessions over 2 hours in this room. We'll have a sign-up sheet that goes out for early December. Should be a nice offering and attack a different component of wellness that some of our fitness programs and game programs might not necessarily offer. And last on my list is that the Knights of Columbus will be hosting a dinner. We'll be distributing tickets for that. Information should be coming out online. Kelly McMorrow up at the front desk will have some information on that she'll be putting out for public use. So that are our updates for programming. Does anybody have any questions about things that are currently running or that we have on the horizon? Oh,
when will that night's dinner be?
I believe it was in December. I made the mistake of not writing the date down for
In
myself.
December sometime, you think?
Yeah, I believe it's early December.
Okay.
And then I think in the November coordinator, there was a publication about the a Thanksgiving dinner that might be coming up.
Oh.
I would have to take a look at that actual flyer. There are a handful of other programs that are in the works as well. We have some intergenerational programs that aren't necessarily what would be Council on Aging, but I shared these with the Rec Commission already. We're going to be offering some family cooking programs that'll be virtual. Hopefully it is a family affair. It'll be open to folks all across Easton. The goal is that for generations and generations, people will get together and then start cooking together and make some some memories. We'll be offering a Guardian and Me dancing class. I know all too well, having been raised by my grandparents for a little while, especially during the summers, that it's not always parents that bring their kids to programs in the summer or the winter for that matter. So we'll be hosting a dance program as well as a music wellness class where kids will play instruments with some sort of guardianship and oversight from parents or grandparents or guardians or whatever it might be. So those are some intergenerational programs that are on the horizon as well. Once I have more concrete information, as always, or as I've done so far, I'll start to share more information at our next meetings for programs. Any questions?
I have a question.
Sure.
Are there any programs in town for folks who need someplace to eat on Thanksgiving?
So I think the one that we publish in the coordinator is the one I know best. I think the Housing Authority may be doing something, but I would have to check with them before I can give a
It
definitive
isn't
answer.
very big down at the
No.
housing down there. I don't know how many people that will hold. They've had other dinners down there and hasn't held very many people. It's parking.
Mm.
There's something I saw at the Beanery, and I don't know who is sponsoring it. There are these little cards, hearts, that are posted around the Beanery that they're asking people to donate different things for seniors who are in need. And I don't know who's sponsoring that. But that they have things on them like people are looking for bedding and people are looking for all kinds of things, and it's for specific individuals. So it will say like Susan, queen size bedding and flippers and this, and I was just curious who is sponsoring that, and
Yeah, it's
be,
interesting.
be something just to find out about.
I made a note of that. Maybe I'll drive down after this, ask about it, and grab an apple fritter while I'm at it.
Yeah.
Would the
Yeah.
Brothers Keeper, could they be doing something like that?
I don't know who it is,
Or
but
one of the
it's sort of.
churches. All of the churches might
Oh,
be
it could
doing
be.
it.
Yeah.
But I thought it was just an interesting program. I've seen that at Christmas time for children at the Y. They have
Mhm.
that where you can take a card and buy
Right.
things
Yeah.
for. And so this is for elders, for seniors. I don't know what the PC term is. These.
That'd be a good program.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Very
a
good
concept.
program, especially this year.
yeah.
Gonna have to be
What
kept
what
warm.
struck me was that the stuff that they were asking for is quite expensive now. Like bedding is very expensive.
They want all brand new stuff too?
I don't know.
Usually they do packaged, not being touched
Yeah.
type
Packaged.
stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That might make it a little bit more difficult.
Yeah,
My first
because of COVID.
Yeah, my
Yeah.
first suggestion though might be to even connect them with the Lions Club for what they have going on with their new thrift store or secondhand store. They might be able to find some things there, but
That's all used.
it
You're
is
a member
used.
still. Oh, no,
Yeah.
you're
No,
not.
I'm not.
No, I'm not either. We're both ex-Lion members. That's why I said that, but we don't know what's going on anymore.
But if you want to buy inexpensive bedding, Ocean State Job Lot.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
But I'm curious because I was there and I didn't ask, but I'm curious who's sponsoring that program.
Where were you at?
The Beanery.
The
Oh, the
people in
Beanery.
there must know.
Yeah, I'm sure they
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I saw it and I didn't inquire.
Yeah.
I was just there yesterday, so.
I have a question about the programming. Did you find anyone to do the Sit and Fit program again?
So not for the sit and fit specifically, but we had the I'm
All
sure
those
I'm
others are too strenuous for me.
strenuous.
Yes.
Okay.
And that's why I was wondering about for us older folks,
I agree there.
yeah, for us older folks, what's come in is too strenuous for us to be doing.
Okay. That's good feedback. I appreciate that. I
Okay.
feel like I've gotten a mix of reports what folks are looking for. Some folks come
Right.
and say they're looking for something that's more high intensity that you would find at a large box gym. Some folks are looking for a little bit more slow, and
Those are
some
for
people.
the younger ones.
And so
Yeah,
some are
it's-
looking
it's
for
for
in
the
between.
younger
So
And,
uh,
and the yoga, that class is really getting overcrowded.
yeah,
I came a week or so ago, and it was so crowded, I could barely find a spot. And I said, this is too crowded for me. There's too many germs in the air.
Maybe they could do that more than twice a week.
She
Once a
does it
week.
Monday. Well, she's involved in other stuff now, too.
Oh,
Doreen has picked up some other things, so.
I wonder if they could do it live and on Zoom, so people could do it at
yeah,
home.
hybrid version. We did offer a third
Yeah,
yoga.
it's still on, I think it's still on our station, yeah. I know Zumba's still on, I still see her every now and then when I'm clicking through. So the others must still be on.
Yeah,
But it's not the same. You don't have that, I want to call it camaraderie.
that's why
that's true.
I like meeting here with the people for the meetings. I don't like the Zoom.
Well, Zumba's okay because I can hear better. That's why I like, the only reason I like Zumba is 'cause I can basically hear everybody.
Oh.
When we're in a group like this, I have a lot of difficulty.
can you hear me okay though?
No.
No.
You have to raise your
I'll
I,
raise
voice
my
a
I'm
voice.
little
gonna, I'm
bit,
gonna look
Joe.
at his paper when we're all done to see what you
You're not gonna
said.
be able to read this.
But this is a good point. We need to all speak up. I
Yeah.
think
Sure.
that's, so
Thank you.
for-
Use your outside voice. That's what the
Yeah.
one
So-
yoga
Thank
teacher
you for
used to say.
mentioning
Use
that.
your outside voice.
We did add a third yoga class. It's called Hatha Yoga. It's very similar in nature. It's a little bit more posture oriented.
You sit, right?
I don't think so.
See, that's the difference. See, standing and doing those exercises for older folk, I'm going to say
It's
older, anybody
hard.
over 75 have difficulty standing for that hour or
Okay.
45 minutes or whatever. Where you would do a sit yoga, we can get up every now and then and we can sit down, but
There used to be a sitting yoga, a chair yoga
we have
here.
chair yoga, but it's
Yeah.
gotten so crowded because we
Oh.
lost space.
I see.
Let's see if we can entertain the idea of a third chair yoga. I know yoga teachers are.
Yeah, it's a very busy.
It's a very busy program for sure. But that's a very good perspective, Lynn. Thank you. I appreciate you sharing it.
I think I'm the only one that comes in these exercise programs. I don't think these other are involved, or, I've
No.
never seen you here.
I go
I
out and
did
walk as much as I can.
pre-COVID, but I haven't
Yeah.
since COVID.
Well, hopefully we change that and
Okay.
we get you all into a program or two. The next few are more so just updates. Social Security. So this was something I came across. There's going to be actually a pretty dramatic increase. I think it's a historic increase if you haven't seen it yet. It'll be an 8% increase in cost of living for your Social Security distribution. So that's
8%?
Yep. So that's pretty noteworthy. I figured it was worth sharing with this group.
And I don't think Medicare is going up as
No.
much as it.
No.
Normally you get the raise and Medicare
Takes it.
takes it. But I think Medicare is only going up a little bit, so.
Okay.
How
There'll be
can
more
I
money
find
in the
out
pocket.
about that?
Right.
I found some information on the AARP website,
Okay.
and then I think it might have even been on the mass.gov website for their
I'm
executive
just
office.
wondering how it affects the people that worked for the town and they work for other companies too, how that affects
You mean
them.
people
'cause
who
they-
have pensions?
Yeah,
We'll have to check into it.
you work for the town and you can't just, so they used to call it double dipping. They take a lot of the Social Security away from you.
Yeah,
The windfall.
The windfall.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I don't necessarily have the answers to it. It was more so a headline that came across my desk
You're
that I
not
wanted
at
to
that
share.
age yet.
Sooner than I'd like.
Oh, no.
It's only
Age-
from hanging around with us.
Age-friendly action committee. I left this bullet from the last time in case anybody had any questions. Still in the process of drafting rules for people of the town. We haven't met again since the meeting that was before our last COA meeting, but I'll keep providing updates as we go. The next meeting we have is for 12/1. I did want to offer the opportunity if folks want to, I mean, there's only a few of us here now, but do we want to agree to do in person, or did we want to move back virtual?
I do, in person.
Let's open it up for discussion. Thoughts?
No, it's fine with me. It worked out well because, gosh, the bosses are using the conference room today at work, so I wouldn't have been able to sit there with my computer, so this worked out fine.
Okay. One thing to be mindful of is as the weather changes, everybody may not be totally comfortable driving. So we may want to leave the door open for safety and convenience sake with folks. So I just keep that in our back of our mind. The next one will be early December, so
Yeah.
Massachusetts can be a little crazy with weather sometimes,
We're
but
fickle.
a little fickle.
Yeah, if
But
it's still in the 70s, then we're in trouble, right? If it's
yes,
crazy.
yes, this is definitely not typical weather. But for 12/1, we're thinking in person, at least the folks that are here.
Yeah.
Okay.
In person, okay.
I'll make sure to reserve a room in Frothingham. Virtual next meeting is 12/1. Staff notes. I do not have any of my own. Kristen did not leave me with any before she took off. But does anybody have any member notes?
I asked last week about the morbid putting in the
Yeah,
obituaries.
the
and
obituary part of the
And you
coordinator.
were going to check, you were going to a meeting and you were going to check with some of the other towns.
I got mixed answers.
Okay.
Some do, some do not. What I ascertained was towns that have a little bit less programming than we do and a little bit less space dedicated to programming in their newsletters offer it. Towns that have a little bit more robust, which I'm proud to say we're
Yeah.
working towards that, their brochures are a little bit more packed and tight for space. So I think also it'd be hard to govern it
Yeah.
in terms of getting those names in. And to Kristen's point, I think she made before, it may be hard to bring those all in. And if somebody forgets to
Yeah.
put theirs in, what does that look like? So
Yeah, so, yeah, no, I understand. I just, as I said, guy called me up and asked me about it and I brought it up.
does Easton have a newspaper? I'm still too new to know that.
They
We have a
use-
They
newsletter.
used to, they don't anymore.
It's
No.
gone.
No.
The Easton Journal. And then it became the Journal, and it was many towns.
Oh,
and I
You can
think-
still get it, but it's
Online.
expensive. No, you can get it.
It was
You can
bad.
order it.
I just basically checked Kane, Southeastern, and the Enterprise.
No.
Unfortunately, it's my first thing in the morning, go on the computer and check those, see if I should get up and go to work. Well, if my name's there.
That's right.
Oh boy. Yes. So I think for now, and unless we start to expand
Yeah.
the coordinator beyond roughly our 10 to 12 pages, we'll likely dedicate it to closures, programs, and then sort of important town-wide initiatives
Yeah.
for the moment. I mean, hopefully it's not a rather long section.
Yeah.
Is what we would hope for, but something that I'm mindful of. Jean, did you have? I think you had your hand raised before for a member note.
No, but I have a question.
Yeah.
We have the things we get from the state that have to be signed and everything. There's a program, once a year they do it. And you must have done it before. Can't think of the name of it. There's 2 different programs that we have to sign papers for every year.
Oh, it came through the computer?
Yeah,
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 I got
Yeah,
that one.
well, all mine can't be printed out. But
Oh,
it
no,
does
no,
come
it-
through it
it-
does come through the computer, and
I
I
just
think,
answered the questions and it went back and she said, fine. It
What
all went
is
through
this?
computer.
everybody on the board should get it from the, Kristen,
Conflict of
you,
interest.
that's it, conflict of interest.
Yes.
Then there's another one.
But
That you
they
have
all,
to
it
do.
all came through computer and she said, as long as you send it back and said that you've read it and everything, and I have, what's the word? I have
Completed
record of
it.
it, I have record of it,
Yeah.
everything's okay. Mine all came through computer this year. Both
Mine
of
did,
them.
but I can't get into it to do it.
Oh. Mine
I
was
used
a-
to come up here and do it.
Yeah.
We used to be 2
Yes, you
or
have to answer
3.
questions.
2 or 3 of us would come up and go through it and then we'd sign the papers and everything.
Yes, that's how it used to be done, but since COVID, it's come through the computer.
I thought it was every 3 years.
There's one of them every 3. But the conflict of
Okay.
interest, I think, is every year.
The 3 years may be your term.
No, I didn't get that every year.
You all are on
Yeah,
3-year
it's a
terms.
3-year term, but I thought that
But
one
there
of the
was
things that we had to
something-
do was like every 3 years. Because I got onto a couple of different groups, and because I had done it for this, I didn't need to do it again.
So Gene, you have to do it. Kelly
Yeah.
Kelly's probably willing and able to help you print it if it's helpful.
Okay, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw that TV, that
And if
computer out the
and if
window.
you can't get it, we'll just call them up. If you can't get it through your computer, call here, and they'll get it for you in paper.
Go to the library and print it out.
Oh, true.
Don't be difficult.
I'm
If I
sorry.
could get on it.
Well, no, I mean, they have the computers that you can just go on, and it's 10 cents a page to print. Don't print in color because it's 25 cents. But,
He works with a computer. We have the knowledge of you know what.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah. Well, how do I get on?
Are there any programs in town to help seniors with heating costs?
Yeah, actually, I'm glad you asked. So, Corey Ahonen, who's out on training, personal day today, he runs heating and SNAP services through financial services. He would be your best bet, but you can email. I will get you Lisa's card before you leave. Or is this more public question?
It's a public question,
Yeah.
and I'm wondering about how and if that is publicized so that folks know about it. It's not for me personally,
Yep.
but I think it's an important service for.
Yeah, so the fuel assistance and the SNAP assistance, excuse me, are published in the coordinator. So there's some information there. It would really tie back to communicating with the folks at Frothingham Hall, and they can set people up with the right human. I know Lisa O'Hearn up front is helping out with that. Tracy Levine, our benefits coordinator, and then Corey also helps with different financial assistance.
And how is the coordinator distributed?
There are mail subscriptions, and then there are pickup here. They're posted at Roche Brothers, a few other grocery stores in town as well, and then Town Hall.
It's also on the town crier.
And it gets posted in Town Crier. Yep.
I heard this morning on the news that the Easton Edison, is getting some sort of a program for anybody that has problems with their paying their monthly bills. You can call them and see how that works. They said they can spread it out for a whole year, so much a month. They figure out how much you use and figure roughly how much it costs, and at the end of the year, somehow you,
All of
They
these
adjust it.
programs that I'm aware of go by your income.
Yeah.
Yeah.
but this is anybody that has a bill, I think.
Yeah, it's a budget.
It's a budget
yeah.
type of a thing.
At the last meeting, Kristen made the point that we as a board should or function as ambassadors for programs, and I think many of the things I just haven't heard of, and so I wonder if that's something that we could tackle as a board. How can we better publicize programs so that people, if I'm not aware of them, I'm certain many people are not. Just thinking about these programs, I wonder if, and the coordinator in general, I wonder if they could be placed in houses of worship and also in doctors' offices, especially doctors who in town who specialize in geriatrics, emergency rooms. I think there's a lot available. I don't know that everybody who should know about it knows about it.
Yeah, that's a fair point. And outreach is something that's come up a few times for us in some of the age-friendly action meetings. Because we do a lot of great work, but keeping people up to date on it is a major component of it as well. So that's a fair point.
And helping people, I can imagine that some people would be put off by applying for heating assistance if they are not computer savvy or if they don't have good vision.
Yeah, a lot of barriers.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, how to make it accessible to people. We had the thing, I think it was through AARP, that Easton had become an age-friendly community, and I think that did go through, but I don't know whatever became of it. I'm not aware of anything changing since that happened.
Yeah, so that's the Age-Friendly Action Committee that I was referring to before. The group that sort of spearheaded it, including the town administrator and some other folks, are coming up with certain action items that we're assigning to different groups across town to take on and make the community more age-friendly. So that's ongoing and is going to be ongoing indefinitely.
Okay.
But to your point about the outreach, that's very valid, and we can look at different places to post it. Excellent.
Okay.
Any other member notes?
No.
Okay. Do we have a motion to conclude the meeting?
Sold.
Second.
Motion to set.
Jerry.
And then we do a little vote. Marjorie, in favor?
Yes.
Favor.
Yes.
Okay, unanimous. That concludes our meeting. It was very nice to meet you all in person for the first time.
Yep.
And I will
That's what
see
I
you.
say.
I'll
Yeah.
see you on December 1st.
Everybody looks so much bigger than they do on the computer.